Hello, everybody. Welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. And yeah, it's time for our weekly painting progress. And I actually got something from my brother, Mr. Percival Sparkletrout. Finished. And what a jolly fellow he is with no face. Yeah, he went and had that spark of inspiration from none other than Bestiarum Miniatures, who consistently put out all sorts of grody, gross, disgustingly beautiful miniatures on a monthly basis. I highly, highly recommend if you are into that very grim, dark, Soulsborne from soft aesthetic. We can keep this guy on the screen. There is always something to entertain there. This was a couple of months back from at least when I am posting this right before Halloween. And, well, a couple weeks before Halloween. It's the middle of October. Or towards the end of it. Anyway, so they had this whole mutant tormentors cults or something like that. Or maybe this is from the mutants. I don't know. But they had a whole slew of these decaying, decrepit, eyeless zombies that basically just had blades strapped to them. Like, that's it. They're not even bothering to actually implement tools anymore. They're just going to strap them with blades and hope for the best. So that was a fun one. And I want to say this following model comes from the same release. A little bit bigger, a little bit meaner. Here we go. And you can see Sparkletrout did a wonderful job of just that nice, decrepit, decaying look to it all across the armor. And if you're curious, I will put these up on the shorts. I know not everybody's a fan of it. I'll try to put those up on days that I don't have actual videos going up, and I will try not to inundate your notifications with multiple videos going off. But rest assured, we will see a nice closer look. Fun fact, his swingy weapon here did get broken somehow, despite both of our best intentions of trying to transport it in one piece, and nope, I had to fix it again right before filming. And I am zooming it out because I guess we're going to increase in scale here. Yet another Bestiarum miniature that, well, if we're going to alter the definition of miniatures at this point, I don't remember which set this guy was from. You absolutely can find it on My Mini Factory. I don't know if they're doing anything for the Halloween sale going on there, but with Thanksgiving and Black Friday right around the corner, there's going to be massive sales on all those STL files. This guy, speaking of massive, very similar to the Knight of Bells, and I had a long and heated argument with Sparkletrout over the fact that I thought he had painted this. Maybe it's just I've seen so many painted versions of these guys, that's where I assumed I had seen it. But he did a nice job. I like the contrast between the bits of nice shiny armor still and just the absolute rust and oxidization going on that blade. Just looks grimy and gross. Same thing on the top. I might have to pick his brain as to how he is getting such grossness and filthiness achieved. And despite that, nice glowy gems and armor there still. Nice pus sacks hanging off of his waist. He does have a face in there. Sadly, the stuff that I got painted is nowhere near as nice. I guess I can always count on beating my brother in terms of quantity instead of quality. I did my own Bestiarum figure this week. I was going to say month. I don't remember what set he is from either. That seems to be a repeating trend here. I like his helmet, though. And the fact that he's just got nails and spikes driven through him all over the place. Again, horribly zoomed in. You can see what a filthy, sloppy job I did, but I love that helmet. And it's hard to tell if some of that scrap metal shoved through his skin is actually just that, or if it's leftover support so it didn't get off. I think with a proper paint job, these would make some great ghouls or flesh eater quartz, whatever it is. So there's my Bestiarum guy. Still plugging away at those Perry Knights. I thought this guy, at least the contrast between the shiny and silvery and darker parts is a little bit better. Obviously he's on Team Red. We will give him some grass to frolic in shortly hereafter. I don't know, every time I look at these guys, I try to figure out somewhere I could put some more color on them. And, I mean, I don't even know if the red shoulder is right. I was thinking Votoms and, you know, Gundam, but I don't know if that's what they were thinking a couple hundred years ago in medieval Europe. I could be wrong. They were just hardcore Chirico fans. What do you know? Anyway, if you have any suggestions on where to see painted armor, maybe I should go take a look at some actual historical stuff. Speaking of historical figures, a Germanic tribesman hero, and I thought I did a decent job on his cape, a decent job on his clothes, and a very so-so job on his face, and I messed up his skin and peeled the paint off, but that's something we can always try to fix. Thankfully, one of the bonuses of these videos is, like I've said before, it gives me a chance to see my handiwork up close, a lot closer, and a lot more direct than I usually would. And, you know, that gives me a chance to go back and touch some of this stuff up, which I actually do from time to time, when I'm not bothering to fight the ever-increasing hordes of new figures to paint. Alright, I'm not fond of her face. I don't think I did a good job, and I want to go back and fix up that cape. This is one of the dwarf heroines from the Artisan Guild kind of Nordic dwarf release. So yeah, I want to touch that up. I'm not happy with it, and I need to fix her face. Something about it I'm not feeling. It's not vibing for me. And I didn't paint the gem. I painted it white in the hopes that it would catch my attention and I would go back and fix it, but obviously that didn't happen. I wanted to kind of make it more like a snow-capped, really icy, cold looking, which is why it's a little bit whiter than I usually do the bases. How big is she in comparison? Actually, she'd work pretty good with some of the Conquest stuff. She's not on fire or anything. Let's see what else we got. Oh, silly me, another Bestiarum model. I'm not happy with the results here. This was their Ronin or something. I don't remember what he was called. This is their most recent release. I know that. He was available as a 32mm figure and as a bust and a 75mm figure as well. He is in definite need of some rework, but I love all the swords and blades hanging off of him. I think the overall look is okay. I need to touch up the skin, and I'm not happy with that face. It just all blends together. And I thought that the white would come out better. I am sadly mistaken. So I will go back and touch that up, because I like the figure. And what's irritating is he did have a custom base, as do most of the Bestiarum models. And then I forgot to put it with him when I was painting it, so he ended up on that. Maybe I should try to match the colors up better so he can hang out with the other Sohei I've got running around. This is a Zenith metal figure, if you're curious. But he's very much like a Benkei style model, so I'm hoping we get a Yoshitsune to go with him in the near future. Speaking of near future, a random Cyberforge model. I love the funky gun. I have painted and repainted and tried to figure out what to do with her on far too many occasions. I think the final result is okay. Do I need to go back and fix all the white on that? Yeah, it doesn't look good. Nor does her backside, but yeah. Again, close up. I know we could see all those little horrible inconsistencies, but from far away on the table, I think it looks pretty decent, and it gets the job done. I wanted to make sure she looked kind of artificial and robotic. I ended up settling on a gray. Originally was trying to paint her up like the Daikon mascot from the anime of old, and it wasn't clicking for me. Speaking of anime as well, we started in on the new RN Studio Neo Kingdoms guys. I think he came out okay. Very simple paint job. I wanted to have a very bluish hue to his hair. He is like a blue mage, I guess. And with those crazy scarf finger pedal thingies, I went ahead and just stuck a nickel on the bottom of his base to help give him that nice stability. The coin worked out perfectly, and it really does help him. Well, at least he's got those to keep him supported if he falls over. I think he'll look quite nice with some of the other ones that I have painted, and I know they're around here. Some of them are. I thought I had the old man as well, but I don't know where I put him. I guess not. But if you haven't had a chance, do take a look at these if you like that style of figure. I personally do. I feel like we don't have enough of that on the tabletop. So, as always, if you're curious about any of this stuff, we will have links to all of it down below where you can go and peruse it at your own leisure. So, by all means, I do encourage you to do that. And hopefully, hit that hashtag weekly painting progress so I can see what you guys are up to, and I will continue to post this stuff on Instagram, whether people look at it or not. I am just hell-bent on chronicling my descent into madness of painting figures on a weekly basis. Now, I love it. I wouldn't be happier or as excited doing this if I couldn't show off even my most mediocre of paint jobs. So, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!